All right, so let's talk about chewing. We know that this is something that our little munchkins do all the time, all day long. And what's important to remember is there's some really important reasons that they do this. Chewing is a very natural part of their behavior. Certainly we understand the need for them to chew their fiber, right? Chew their hay. But chewing is also how these munchkins explore their environments, how they look at new things and kind of get a feel for changes in the environment or new things that we may be providing to them. So as you can see in Timmy's cage here, there's a whole bunch of different things that can potentially offer that opportunity for this munchkin with chewing. But what are some of the key benefits of chewing, and why is it something that we want to talk so much about and make sure that we're thinking about in their homes? Well, first of all, we know that these guys with rabbits, guinea pigs, and chinchillas, they have what we call open-rooted teeth, right? So their teeth grow throughout their entire life, and that's not just their front incisors, that's all of those teeth. Well, that's obviously essential to their ability to break down the different plant materials and chew up these coarse, hard, fibrous plant materials like fibers and hays that they naturally need. So those constantly growing teeth allow them to chew these types of plant materials, but it also facilitates their ability to explore by chewing on other types of things, whether they be woods, whether they be barks, or whatever the case would be. Some of the other benefits when we think about with chewing is it's very mentally stimulating for these guys, right? As they explore their environment and they look to explore what else is new, what it means to them, that's going to be mentally stimulating to them. Whether they're chewing on a wicker ball, whether they're chewing on a hay enclosure, all of that's going to provide not only that mental stimulation, but also the behavior component of things. Talking about the behavior and the physical side of things, the more activity we can get these guys to do, the more movement we can stimulate. We all know the benefits of that as well. So providing food items that stimulate that natural chewing behavior that allow them to move these items around at the same time, ties directly to that physical improvement, that physical movement as well. Now we know that all munchkins are offered in different habitats, and obviously having a good healthy habitat with a good exclosure is great. We also want to try to give them as big a space as we possibly can, but providing appropriate chew items physically and mentally stimulates them to do things. Unfortunately, in animals that are only kept in small enclosures, we can see some boredom-based behaviors. So getting them into as big of an area, as big of an environment as we possibly can, and providing additional amounts of items that stimulate enrichment, stimulate them moving around, helps to decrease the likelihood of that, right? Keeps them moving, play, and activity, which not only helps to decrease boredom-based behaviors, but also decreases the likelihood of obesity, which is unfortunately a common problem we see in these guys. And the last reason, and one of the things that I think is the most important, is really kind of fostering and supporting that human-animal bond. Anything we can do to interact with these guys, that we can do to provide natural behavior, but to stimulate them and share that interaction is going to be beneficial to our relationship with them. So as we think about chewing, we understand all of the mental benefits, the physical benefits, certainly the dental benefits of those things. What is kind of a chewing checklist? What are the things we always want to keep in mind with chewing? Well, the number one is the easiest one. That's hay. And we all understand the mental benefits of hay, but it ties directly to that chewing benefit as well. The bigger the diversity of grass hays that we feed, in other words, Timothy and orchard of different types, the better, because we're going to stimulate and facilitate more chewing with these guys. Next, I want to think about some all-natural types of chews. You can do things that are willow and wicker. You can do different types of things that are actually hay, just in a different presentation. You can think about things that are cardboards that are safe without artificial inks, that again are going to provide a safe thing for them to chew on, but something that's different than just the hay itself. And then we can also think about habitats and woven enclosures like this. There's obviously multiple benefits there because Timmy's hanging out in a place where he feels comfortable. As a prey species, they're naturally going to go to areas where they can get away and they can hide, but also recognizing that he's going to chew on it, right? That's how he's going to explore. So giving him something that's safe, that he can't hurt himself on, there's no wire, no string, ties directly to those benefits as well. Now, we know chewing is important for them. We know the things that we want to do to really provide the best environment for them as we can, but we also have to remember to be careful with some things. If we're giving these munchkins the opportunity to get out in the home, we need to think about things they may chew on that may potentially not be good. They'll explore their world as he's coming out right now, but we need to think about things like cords, whether they be power cords or other types of things. He's going to explore that potentially with his mouth, and what are the implications of that? Chewing on plastics and chewing on wire or types of metals, that's obviously not in line with what their dentition is built for, and it can cause all kinds of different problems. We also want to think about houseplants. You know, a lot of us have houseplants in our home. We know that greens and veggies are naturally for these guys, so they're going to explore the potential of those as well. And unfortunately, many of the common houseplants that we have are potentially toxic. So can they get access to them? Do we know what the plant material is? Let's just think through that and kind of set these munchkins up for safety and decrease the likelihood of their having a problem. Anything they can get around or they can get a hold of, they're likely going to chew on. And that can be things as simple as the carpet on the floor. It can be the leg of your couch. It could be the trim on the outside of the room. All of those things, if they can get their mouth around them, they may potentially chew on it. So just, again, be aware and be thoughtful. If you're sitting and hanging out with them, you can certainly catch them doing those things, but if they have access to parts of their home that may be unsupervised, we want to be thoughtful in what they can potentially get a hold of. But we know chewing is important for these guys. Nutritionally, with their fiber, mental stimulation, physical stimulation, there's a lot of benefits to providing appropriate, nutritionally accurate type of chew items for these guys, and think of different ways to do that. If we do that and we tie that to good nutrition, we're really doing everything we can as moms and dads to set these guys going down the right path.